Let's start. Hi, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for listening to my podcast and watching my YouTube videos. It's amazing response, and I love you all. Please subscribe my channel, subscribe to my podcast, and keep supporting me as much as you can. Thank you. Today, I have another amazing human being, and her name is Lynnaire Johnston, and she is a writer. She has written two books. Number one, Linkability, and number two, Business Code. And her businesses, and she has her business as well, which is all about coaching related to LinkedIn and how she's making sales. So we will be talking to her about her business, her books, about her personal stuff, what she does, and everything. Let's talk to Lynnaire. Hi, how are you, Lynnaire?
Oh, I'm lovely, Harshmeen. Lovely to be here. Thank you so very much indeed for inviting me. It's a pleasure. And I love your Christmas tree. It's just gorgeous.
Thank you so much. I'm obsessed as well because this is the best period, and my Christmas tree is up on every 1st of November.
Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive.
Thank you so much. And then, so before we start, I would like to know who is Lynnaire Johnston? We don't know the person yet. So, can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Well, I'm a former radio newsletter reader and announcer. I'm a former editor and a former copywriter. And now I'm an author and an authority about LinkedIn, which is a platform that I just love. And during the course of this conversation, you'll hopefully learn to love it too, because I think it's an amazing place for business professionals of any kind, whether they're employees or business owners or anything in between, to have a really solid presence and to be able to network well and to be able to bring in business. So my background has been writing. All my life I've been a writer, and so it's a real thrill to now be the author of two books. And Linkability, for powerful strategies to maximize your LinkedIn success, was published last year, and this year, just a few weeks ago, I published with my co-author Michelle Raymond a new book called Business Gold, building awareness, authority, and advantage with LinkedIn company pages. It's the first book in the world about company pages using LinkedIn. So it's become a bestseller, and we are absolutely thrilled with the support that we've had for the book. So I'm looking forward to being able to talk today with you and your audience about LinkedIn, Harshmeen.
Wow, that's amazing to know about that this is the first book itself. So amazing. You made a world record, that means.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, like you have worked in radio, you are a copywriter. How did you end up, you know, getting into LinkedIn and writing and all of those things?
Well, I was a writer right from the very beginning of my career. I trained as a journalist, and so everything I've done in my life has been around writing in some form or another. So I've written about cars, I've written about beauty products, I've even written about weird things like electrical and automation technology, which don't ask me to explain because I have no idea. But I've written about a lot of different things over my life, and so LinkedIn is kind of an extension to that. So I really fell into LinkedIn when I realized they had a publishing platform, because like most people, I had a CV or resume on LinkedIn because that was all I thought that LinkedIn really did. And then I realized that it had this publishing platform which really fits my strengths. And so I started to write. I began writing about writing because at that stage I was largely earning my money from my copywriting business, Wizard. And as I grew to love LinkedIn more and to be able to use it more, and LinkedIn added new functions and better ways of doing things, I realized that there was a gap in people's knowledge about LinkedIn. So I started writing about LinkedIn on LinkedIn to help other people. And that served two purposes. First of all, it helped me learn about LinkedIn myself, but it also helped other people to learn about it and to be able to make better use of it. And so from there, people started asking me to do LinkedIn work for them, like updating their profiles. And so I began doing that. And then I realized that there was a whole area of that people were missing out on in terms of the publishing, because people didn't know how to publish good content, or even what good content was. They didn't know how to do that in a way that brought them in business or that developed relationships. And so I set up a marketing program to help people to do that. And so one thing has led to another. And from there, now I can confidently say that I'm a best-selling author, and it's just been a fantastic journey.
Amazing. And how many books have we sold so far? Like, any idea?
Well, the new book, the bestseller, has sold over 250 copies in around just under 3 weeks.
Wow.
Which is great. It doesn't take a lot to get to be a bestseller. That is true, but we are very pleased with the level of support that we've had for a book that is, first of all, not very long. Mm-hmm. Secondly, it's not about a topic that everybody knows much about. And thirdly, most people have always said, well, LinkedIn company pages are a waste of time. So what we're trying to do is to change people's opinions about that. And I think that by talking about it, and by people buying the book, and by people having YouTube videos and podcast interviews just like this one, then it will help people see the opportunities, because we've called it business gold, because company pages are a gold mine on LinkedIn that most people don't know about.
Oh, I didn't even know about. So it's amazing to know about this. And so let's start with an example. So do you have any example that you did a company page for a business and it's actually flourishing like anything? Any different?
Well, yes, of course, your own examples are the best ones to be able to show people, because you've got absolute control over those. When you manage them for other people, you don't have complete control, that's for certain. But we do company page posts for a company in Auckland called Spaceworks, and they are commercial designers, and they've just won the New Zealand Supreme Award for the Rainbow Awards for 2021, which is really exciting. And so we put posts up for them on their company page, which is really a lovely way to be able to showcase what they do in terms of their commercial properties. Now, for my own company page, Linkability, I use that to build an audience with people, to build relationships and to build rapport. I also put a lot of content on there about LinkedIn. Now, because I'm a writer, I write a lot of material, right? That's my big thing. But company pages can also be used to hold events like LinkedIn Lives. And now it's possible for anybody who's got a company page with more than 150 followers to be able to have a link to hold LinkedIn Lives. And I predict that next year we're all going to be holding LinkedIn Lives, just like, they'll be, I think, as common as doing ordinary posts, because they'll be so easy to do and everybody will be able to make really good use of them, I think. So there's a lot more functionality now for company pages, which is why we think that they have a really good future, if you like. But in answer to your question, that there are most big companies, so like Netflix, for example, have really good company pages. So if you want to see an example of how to do it well, Netflix is a really good example.
Okay. So let's, and what about the normal LinkedIn profiles, the one people, if, for example, somebody is looking for a job, what kind of LinkedIn they should be having? Like, what things they should be including in their profile? What do you think?
So the LinkedIn, the profile on LinkedIn underpins everything that you do. So you have to get that right and make that as good as you can possibly make it. One reason for that is that, and most people don't know that, is that when somebody Googles your name, one of the very first things that's going to come up is your LinkedIn profile. So you want to make sure that it's as good as it can possibly be. So the things that you need to have on that include a banner. So that's the piece that runs along the top, and it's the first thing anybody will see. So you need to make that really good and colorful and tell people what you do. A really nice profile photo is a very good thing to have. And now this year they've introduced a video. So you can have a video that sits in behind your profile photo, and it can be up to 30 seconds long, which is just a lovely thing to do as well. You need a very good headline on your profile, and you need to have a good about section. So that's where you tell your story about your career or your life and what you're currently doing and how you're helping people. And the other major area that is, I think, is super important about profiles is the featured section, which has a lovely big thumbnail. So it's very visual, because part of the problem with LinkedIn is that it's not terribly visual. It's a lot of words. And so to be able to have things in there that might be links to websites, it might be photos, it could be videos, all of those things in there in the featured section make it look really, really smart. And if you're looking for a new job, my advice is not to have that in your headline, open for work. What you want to do is to tell people in your headline and in your about section what it is you do and who you help. So those keywords, the keywords that people like recruiters are going to be searching for, is an important thing to have in your about section, because recruiters look online on LinkedIn to find out more about you, particularly if you've sent them your CV. They will also look at your LinkedIn profile. And so it's hugely important for everybody to have an absolutely excellent LinkedIn profile.
And so it's about a LinkedIn profile. What about business professionals? What do you recommend for business professionals?
I think for business professionals, it's absolutely the same, but more of it. So if you are a business owner, for example, then you need to have a company page so that gives you a fresh stream of organic content that you can create to bring in people to follow your page and to follow your profile and become connected to you. Because if you're a business professional, what's important is building relationships. And just about everything I do, everybody I talk to, including you today, is all based around or is directly as a result of LinkedIn. Now, you and I met through an online networking group, but because I have been on LinkedIn, I was invited to that group. I don't know how you got involved in that group, but it's directly LinkedIn related. So
I was invited through LinkedIn as well. So
there
you go.
you go.
I agree now.
It works. And so building relationships before you need them, it's like digging a well before you're thirsty. You need to start building relationships when you are young so that you can then know people. People will take your calls. They'll know who you are when you meet them, when you see them, when you get in touch with them. And that is really very, very important. And to me, that's really more important on LinkedIn than just about everything. It's about building those relationships and getting to know people. A lot of people think it's all about having a big network, but if people don't know you in your network and they don't have any kind of rapport with you, that you have no credibility, they don't trust you, they don't like you because they don't know you, then that's not going to get you anywhere, either in business or in your job hunting. So building those relationships with people is really super important.
That's true. And what do you think about the company pages and then the professional profiles? So how do you link that both together on LinkedIn?
There are more ways now than there have been previously. So before, the way to do that was in your experience section. When you typed in the company name, if there was a company page for that company, then it would show up and come through to your profile so that the logo showed on your own profile. So that's been there for quite a long time, and that's still there. But now you can link your company page more directly to your profile because there's a new section that on a company page at the top that's a call to action. So it might say learn more or visit my website, that kind of thing, or request information. And if you can set that up so that instead of it going to a website, it goes to your profile. Now that's really super useful if you don't have a website. And so if you want people to go to your profile and learn more about you, then that's a really good way to do it. Also, also events, if you hold an event on a company page, then what happens is anybody who accepts that, it goes onto the highlights section of their profile. So that means that if you visit their profile, in the highlights section, you'll see information about that event and the company logo. So say, for example, I'm holding a webinar and I invite you and you say yes, then somebody else who visits your profile will be able to see on your profile that you're attending my webinar and my branding will be on it. So you can see how it has that ripple out effect. And the more you do those kind of things, the more the two integrate. So that's the company page and the profile all become a single unit, if you like. So it's really important to be able to know what the different features of the company page are, and they're changing and improving all the time. And if you do that, then you'll be able to use them both together really, really well. And that's where the book comes in.
Yeah, that's amazing. Good to know. So so your business works around this. What does your business do?
So my business is helping people with LinkedIn. So I have 3 different things I do. I have a profile update service. So that means that anybody who wants to update their profile, I help them do that. Now I do that in 2 ways. It's either a done for you service, or I coach people to be able to do it themselves, whichever their budget allows or their time allows, because some people like to learn and some people just like to have it done and off their to-do list. So we work in both those ways. We also have a marketing program for people who want to publish on LinkedIn and who want to build their network. So we put both of those together in one marketing program. And so that's really more for people who are business owners and who want to get their business name out there. There might be coaches, freelancers of some sort or another, but mostly they are businesses, small businesses or business owners that we do that for. And then the third thing that we do is we have a members site. So this is for individuals, really, people like you and me who want to learn more about LinkedIn. We might be serious about LinkedIn, but you don't want to outsource it. You want to learn how to do it yourself. So the members site gives people an opportunity to learn all about the different facets of LinkedIn, because it's getting more complicated all the time, and to be able to use those tactics and techniques to be able to achieve their professional objectives. Now, it works for anybody, no matter what they're trying to do. So whether you're wanting to be seen as a thought leader and an expert in your field, you might be wanting to promote your brand, you might be wanting to be seen out there as a freelancer or as providing a service or services to different companies. So you might have a portfolio career. All of those and more are helped by people for people by being on the members site, where they can learn more. They've got group coaching and there's a community of people who are trying to do the same thing. So we just launched that this year and we're really excited about that too.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. And do you have a definite pricing, or it's different for everybody for all of those courses and stuff?
It's all different because we do different things for different people, of course, at different levels. So the member site is really inexpensive. It's only $20 a month, and we offer people a free week, first of all, to see if they like it. And if something they want to do more of, then they're very welcome to stay with us and to learn more. And if it's not their thing, that's absolutely fine. But I also post a lot of material on LinkedIn. So the people who join the site generally know me and know the kind of information that I provide, so that they understand that they're going to get value for that. But the prices differ for the other services depending on what it is that people exactly want.
So is it New Zealand dollars or US dollars?
New Zealand dollars, yes.
Oh, sweet.
Which is good, isn't it? It's cheaper.
Yes.
It's cheaper than US dollars. So that's
yes. I've got a lot of viewers from United States, so I just wanted to make sure they know what we're talking about.
Yes, no, definitely New Zealand dollars, yes.
Sweet. Thank you. Then how did this linkability and business goal come up in this whole situation? And how long you've been running your business from?
The LinkedIn side of my business has probably been running for about 6 years. My own business I've had for over 20 years. So it's relatively new for me, but I do absolutely love it. I absolutely cannot wait to get out of bed in the morning and get onto LinkedIn. And at night, my husband says to me, "Are you still working?" And I go, "No, but I've still got LinkedIn open on my screen." So absolutely love it. My own story about the book or the books, in December, I'd been writing a lot of posts about LinkedIn, just helping other people. That's all I saw it as. And then in December 2019, I literally woke up one morning and discovered that the Social Media Marketing Institute of Australia had put me on a list of their top 20 LinkedIn experts in Asia Pacific. And I was the top rated New Zealander. There are only
That's amazing.
It was. So
well done.
So I saw that as an opportunity. So when somebody tells you suddenly that you're an expert, you have to step up, right? And so what does every expert in the world have? They have a book. Fortunately, I'm a writer, so I recognized the opportunity and said, okay, in 2021, I'm going to write in 2020, sorry, I'm going to write a book. And so that's what I did. I spent the first lockdown and a few months after that writing the first book. And it did quite well, and I was really pleased with it, got a lot of very good response. But then I decided I needed to write another one, and it had better be about company pages, because nobody knew about company pages or the potential that they hold. And so I thought that would be a great thing to do. But I didn't know enough about company pages myself to be able to do that. So I heard a woman from Australia on a podcast talking about company pages, and I thought I should get in touch with her and see if she'd like to write the book together. So I did, and she said yes, and now we are best-selling authors, and it's been absolutely an amazing collaboration.
Wow, that's amazing. And so you wrote both these books in 2021?
So I wrote the first book, Linkability, in 2020, and we wrote Business Gold in 2021, yes.
Wow. And how long did it take?
Well, it took less time to do it together this year. We started in May, and we just published it towards the end of November, whereas Linkability took me from January right through to the end of September to do. It's a lot more work doing it on your own than it is with someone else.
Obviously, because then you get deadlines. Okay, you do this part and you do this part, and it becomes easier.
Yes, exactly. That's right. You're sharing the workload, but it's all about collaboration. And I think that's a point just worth pausing and talking about a bit more, Harshmeen, because it is something that LinkedIn allows you to do. Now, I didn't know, I knew it intellectually about collaboration, but before I wrote my book, but the process of writing my first book and then afterwards really made me understand the value of working with other people, of collaborating with people. And that in some cases might be people you might see as your competitors. And if you can pool your resources and work together, you can achieve more together than you could each of you individually times two. So it has this kind of leveraging effect. And by building relationships on LinkedIn, you get opportunities to collaborate with people. And as I say, I hadn't realized how useful it was to be able to collaborate with people. Personally, it's wonderful to develop those relationships with people. And I've enjoyed it because I've learned so much, but also it's given me the confidence to do what I do with Michelle, to reach out to her and say, would you like to collaborate on this book? Because I think what holds us back a lot, particularly women, is that we lack the confidence or self-belief to think that anybody will say yes. Well, Michelle said yes, virtually, as the words came out of my mouth. And so it was really a very good validation of how well collaboration works. And you see, the network side of it's important too. She didn't know me. I didn't know her. We've never met. And yet she's got a big network. I've got a big network. And we were able to pool those resources of those networks in order to be able to make the book such a success.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's always the thing. I have been telling this to a lot of people. Yeah, working together is always beneficial. I have a cleaning business, and with my cleaning business, I collaborate with other cleaning businesses, and we are working together We just don't leave it just like that.
Yes, it's great, isn't it? And you get so much out of it at so many different levels, and it extends your reach. Because I know that you happen to be in Auckland, and I know, and I'm not in Auckland, and you have your reach extends to where I do live, which is lovely.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly how LinkedIn works. And I've got now networks with people all over the world, in some very strange countries that I have to look up on the map to find out where they are. And so, which is really great. And that's another thing I love, particularly in these last 2 years, when we have not been able to socialize with people, we've not been able to network with people in person. So those relationships online via Zoom have become so much more important. And I've developed business relationships and friendships in quite a lot of cases with people. And that's something that I really enjoy, because I'm a people person, and I can tell that you are too.
Yes.
And so that's what really drives us. That's what motivates and inspires us, is those relationships. And so that's what I get. That, to me, that is more important than driving sales. Now, yes, I have to eat, and yes, I have bills to pay like everybody else. And so my business has to make enough money to let me do that. But really what inspires me most is the people, is the messages I get from people, the people who reach out to me in various ways on different aspects of LinkedIn. That's where I really feel that I get something really personally out of that. And I think that's what LinkedIn can give everybody.
Yeah, that's the thing. And thank you for giving us the example how you found out about your other writer for the business goal book. Because I have told so many people, they're like, oh, I can't find information. I'm like, it's just search, Google it. You can find anybody anywhere in the world.
That's right. And there are 800 million people on LinkedIn. No excuse for not being able to find somebody.
That's the thing. So yeah, thank you for that. So what do you recommend to business owners at right now to help them increase their, I would say, searchability on LinkedIn, or how they can promote their business properly?
All right. I think the main thing is to have your company page set up properly. Now, we've outlined all the steps that you need to take in the book. And it's relatively simple. It doesn't take terribly long to do, and it's free. So why would you not want to do that? So if you set your page up correctly and you start to invite followers, and you can invite 100 people per month, so it builds up quite quickly. If you do those two things, then you will help your searchability no end, because the research has shown that the algorithm will send more viewers to your page and your posts if you have your company page properly set up. So it makes a big difference. So that means you need to have a banner, you need to have your logo, and you need to have a tagline. Now, I also recommend having the about section properly written, and I think from memory that's 2,000 characters, around 300 words anyway. So you can get a lot of good information in there. But publishing on your company page is what will get you views, that will get you visibility with your followers and with people that they're connected to, if you write good quality content. So let me define good quality content while I'm here on this one. If you post material, say might be images or videos or document posts, whatever it might be, if you post that material and make it all about you, then people will switch off. What you need to do is to talk about how you solve people's problems. So that means talking about it from your customers or clients' point of view. Now, that's the basis of all good copywriting, and it's the same on LinkedIn. If you show people that you're there to help them and you can solve their problems, then they will follow you to the ends of the earth, almost literally, because I'm in New Zealand. Then that means that they will really you will build trust with people. Your company will be seen as trustworthy and credible and a good company to do business with, because we all do business with people we know, like, and trust, don't we? So
Yes.
that's a really important thing. So just to recap that, having your company page completely filled out correctly, and inviting followers and building up a good follower list, and having good content. Those are the three things that will help you get found and help you promote your business on LinkedIn.
Wow, that's good. And where we can find your books?
Oh, everywhere, absolutely everywhere. It's it's on all the Amazon, sort of Amazon US and UK and Australia. So it's available on Amazon in digital form, not necessarily just for Kindle, but you can download it and read it as a PDF, and also as a printed book. So if you go to Amazon anywhere, you'll be able to find Business Gold, and also Linkability.
Oh, that's nice. Good to know. And lastly, I want to know 5 takeaways from Lynnaire Johnston.
All right. The first and most important is to follow me and connect with me on LinkedIn, because that way you will get lots of information about LinkedIn. And I write a lot of material about what's new on LinkedIn. So if you want to know about the new features of LinkedIn, follow me or connect with me preferably. Tell me that you heard me here with Harshmeen, and I will make sure that I'll send you some more information. So that's the first thing. The second thing is to make sure that your profile is as good as you can possibly make it. So follow the steps that we talked about earlier in this discussion about making sure you've got everything in place and looking good, so that when people go to your profile, they will go, oh, this is somebody I want to know more about. The third thing is to build your network. Make sure that you are constantly reaching out to other people that you want to be connected with. Don't be afraid to reach out to people who you might consider to be unreachable, because you'll be surprised at who will say yes to your invite. Now, number 4, which is similar to that, is always send a personalized invite message. Don't just send the default message, because you will get far fewer yeses if you do that. So always send a message that says, hello, Harshmeen, hello, Lynnaire, I've seen you, I've heard you, I know about this or that, and I'd love to connect with you. That will get you more yeses. And the 5th thing is to make sure that you have your company page set up completely and really well, so that people can find your company on LinkedIn, because those links now are also being transferred to Google. So I expect that very soon, if somebody Googles your company page, or company name rather, your LinkedIn company page is going to pop up there right at the top of the results, just like your profile does when somebody types in your name. So those are the 5 main things to be taking into account and doing right now to get you ready for 2022.
That's amazing. And I need a giveaway as well for our speakers, for our listeners.
For your listeners. All right. So do you think your listeners would like a copy of Business Gold or a copy of Linkability? What do you think?
We can have both.
You can have both. Well, why don't we give them a digital copy of Business Gold and a printed copy of Linkability? How would that be?
Perfect. That would be amazing. That would be so helpful for my listeners and to all the people who are looking forward to expanding their business or expanding themselves in the field of business. So thank you so much today, Lynnaire. It was amazing to talk to you and connect with you. The best part I loved about you is you're so, full of energy, full of thoughts, and such a treasure of knowledge related to LinkedIn. It's amazing. Thank you for that.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Harshmeen. It's been an absolute pleasure and a delight.
You have an amazing day. I hope it is sunny in Dunedin today.
No.
We have a good sunny day, but it's hot today.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah. But thank you so much again for your time. And I will be posting this interview by next week for you, just for your information, and I will email you the links.
Well, fabulous, and wishing all your audience a Merry Christmas and a fabulous 2022.
Merry Christmas to you too, and fabulous 2022 too. 22 too. Not 2022. I'm bad today. And to all my listeners, please subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my podcast, and keep listening and keep supporting. Thank you so much. See you. Bye.